How about this? The only way to get God's leading is to have God's values. How about that? So, assuming one's values are not too godly, then you attract the solution that matches your values. This is what occurs to you. This is what seems best, and that's what you go and do. Supposing you've got your values, which are not entirely God's values by any means, well, might not be too bad, but and you want to have God's leading on this. Well, you think hard. What are God's values? How does this affect my choice and leading? Okay, you say to yourself, but if I haven't got God's values, how do I know what they are? Well, to some extent, any person you know who you really do think is probably trying to seek God's will on things, you ask their opinion. What do you think God would have me do in this situation? Oh, well, and of course it's going to be coloured greatly by their own values, which is their view of what God's values might be. And you'll reflect on this in relation to what you think God's values might be, which is a view that's heavily biased by what your values are. Hang on, are you giving me a solution, Marshall? It sounds a bit doubtful. I'm saying that really, in your heart, you just have to earnestly think, what are God's values? Now, you are likely to get that wrong because your religion has probably got it wrong in some degree, and you've picked up on both the good points and bad points, some of each of your religion. And you've mixed this with your own personal view, which is no more enlightened, but is different perhaps to some extent. Right. You might be particularly devoting your life to understanding what God's values are because you love Him. Oh goodness, I don't need to advise you then, do I? Bless you. And you are blessed by such a practice. And what might give you the incentive to have such practice? Whatsoever's good and lovely, think on these things. You'll be so happy. You'll receive so much joy. You will be filled with gratitude to God and so motivated to seek His will and understand His values that you'll be the most teachable person in the world, and not in the world long, I might point out. For once you're ready to graduate, well, there's not much point in you staying. Heaven's the place for you. See you there. Bless you.